Last year, Albuquerque broke the record for the most homicides the city has ever had.
With at least 55 homicides just so far this year, breaking that record again is certainly possible.
So city officials say they're making moves to make the city safer, but what can state legislators do to help keep Albuquerque safe? Our Joy Wang takes a look in tonight's Vote for New Mexico report.
I spoke to my daughter that day.
Not a day goes by that Valerie Espinoza doesn't think about her daughter Erica, who was killed in a drive-by shooting in August of 2017.
I was going to pick her up that weekend, and that morning I got a phone call just saying that my daughter was dead, that she was shot in the chest and she didn't make it.
Erica was 27 with a 10-year-old son and a baby on the way. The pregnancy was news she was never able to share with her mother.
She said she had something to tell me, and when, like a week later, after everything I found out that my daughter was pregnant. She was almost 3.5 months pregnant, and she was carrying a little boy.
Valerie's daughter is one of 72 people murdered in Albuquerque last year. At the time, APD had 5 detectives and a clearance rate of 50%, the lowest in 10 years. Erica's case is among those that have not been solved. Investigators have told the family they have no leads.
I don't understand what's going on. I mean, I know that they're doing their best and everything, but it doesn't make sense how this just is like getting worse and worse.
Other families and even investigators are frustrated too.
It really hurts all of us when we can't provide a family member or a friend the reason why we haven't solved that homicide.
Detectives Andrew Shue and Tara Juarez have been with APD for more than a decade.
You know, when we get those phone calls or text messages or emails from victims' families and from friends, and we have to tell them, you know, gosh, I apologize, but there's just not been an update on the case. I can't provide you with an answer today. It gets really heavy.
We answer our phone in the evening. My cell phone's 24/7. I work on holidays sometimes, or I work on the weekends because I want to bring justice to these people.
Mayor Keller and city councilors passed an ordinance this year to help find that justice. They raised the gross receipts tax to hire 100 more officers each year over 40 years. It comes with no extra funding from the state.
We stepped up. They asked us last year, they said, well, why don't you deal with your own problems? And we did.
APD's homicide unit doubled from 5 to 10 detectives.
When we talk to other agencies in similar sized cities, and we tell them that we're in double digits for our caseload, they walk away scratching their heads, because they tell us, well, gosh, we 3 to 6 cases a year.
But even with the extra help, the city's on track to break the homicide record again.
There'll be sometimes in a week we'll get 4 homicide call-outs.
Mayor Keller says the city needs help from the state.
Is it fair to ask the state to spend so much of its resources on one city when, like you said, there are so many other rural cities that need the extra help?
I think when it's suffering, when Albuquerque is facing the challenges that we are, and when we've demonstrated our own leadership by stepping up, we've done our part.
Keller says New Mexico rises and falls with Albuquerque.
Whether you like that or not, we are the economic hub. We're more than half the population. And so I think folks all around the state realize that when Albuquerque's rising, it lifts everyone else up.
In the next legislative session, Mayor Keller is going back to the Roundhouse, asking for $30 million to upgrade APD's radio system to better communicate with other agencies.
But literally, when disaster happens, that means we can't talk directly to each other.
He's asking for more money to fund new DNA equipment to prevent future backlogs and rape kits and fingerprints.
That literally is a game changer.
These are big ticket items, and investigators agree it will help, especially when even the little things, like a printer in the mobile crime unit, seem like a luxury. The 23-year-old truck is the nicer of APD's 2 mobile crime units. This back room is where investigators question witnesses or suspects. The TVs are connected to VCRs, equipment that isn't just outdated, it's unusable.
We'll use carrots and sticks as best as we can, and we'll forge on. But I know that New Mexico is out of time. We feel deep urgency to deal with these issues. And so now we have funding. We have a city that's ready and willing to step up and and we know what to do with the funding.
As the city waits,
Please, somebody come forward.
victims' families wait too and continue to mourn.
Right now, she would be waiting for her son to get off of school so she could pick him up and
Taking care of her other baby.
taking care of her other baby.
While they can't change the past,
She would have been living her life.
they're hoping state leaders
She would have been here.
Be laughing, we can hear her voice.
will help shape a better future. In Albuquerque, Joy Wang, KOB, Eyewitness News 4.